So I think we'd better turn that one straight over to Paul.
Well, quite frankly, I reject that totally. I think what we put forward is a positive policy. I think it's a policy which is a unionist policy. It's about saving the union. It's progressive. Because not only will, I believe, will it solve the devolution problem, it will also address House of Lords reform. And I think we've got an option. And we know that other political parties will be looking at this, and I think we've got a choice. We can either lead or we can follow. And I would prefer us to lead on this issue and make it our own. The problem that we have with devolution is that it's here. The genie's out the bottle. It is never going to be put back in. In fact, there is no appetite whatsoever in the home nations to do away with their own parliaments or assemblies. Proven by the fact that there is not one single member in the Welsh Assembly, Scottish Parliament or Northern Ireland Assembly who was elected on a platform of abolition. Not one. There is no appetite for it whatsoever. So quite frankly, our devolution policy at the moment is about as realistic as Britain retaking the Raj. It is bonkers. It has to change. Now what I've put forward, I genuinely believe, is positive, it's innovative. I think it's where politics is going to go over the next 5 years, especially as Salmond ups the anti-English rhetoric. And if you think people are unhappy now, just wait till next September when tuition fees kick in. There is going to be absolute uproar. And the one thing that we've got to stop, is the English declaring independence. Because opinion polls are showing that English independence is growing day by day. Not only that, 26 opinion polls on the bounce have now shown that the English people want equality and want their own parliament. We've got to follow public opinion on this, and we've got to save the union. And I believe I put down a policy paper which seeks to address it. It's a document. It's not, as I said, set in stone. It's a proposal. It's for the party to discuss. But hey, look, we're a maturing party. We're a grown-up party. And I think if a party wants to progress, it needs to have these kinds of debates. Because let's be frank, politics isn't stagnant. Politics is fluid, and times change, and we have to change it.
Lisa and Steve, you both wish to come on this? Yeah.
I just want to say I am a massive United Kingdom fan. In the discussions that have gone on in building up this proposal, we've had very, very hard discussions. We are essentially all massive United Kingdom fans. The thing that really cuts it for me with this is something that's been, and I think this is a work of genius, personally. The thing that cuts it for me is what's been going on in the very recent past, since the last elections, the devolved elections, and even more recently, which is that the English are being goaded into getting rid of Scotland. Now, if you really want to see the union break up, the way to do it is not to give Alex Salmond a vote in Scotland, which actually the Scots wouldn't take. It's to get the English to vote to tell them to get stuffed. And that's what they're trying to do. It's constantly happening. The English, it's all very unfair to the English. The English must tell them to get stuffed. And that is when the United Kingdom disappears. And that's what I think we're preventing. And that's why I like what we've done here.
I agree with that, Steve. I agree with that. Alex Salmond's a clever operator, isn't he? You know, he goes on to that Today programme and he has me choking on my breakfast. And that's what it's designed to do. Can I just say that people in this audience who find this a difficult issue, and they find it difficult because they were opposed to devolution back in 1998, as indeed I was. It's taken me nearly 2 years to make my mind up on this. Paul will tell you, I've agonised over this for the last 2 years. And over the course of this summer, I've come to see that this paper that's been put before us, while we may change some of the details, I'm absolutely sure, politically, that it's right. It is, as both Paul and Steve have said, probably the only way to save the union. But it also does redress that unfairness that the English feel. And I can honestly report that I was walking this morning from the hotel to the conference, and I was stopped by 2 people who heard me on Radio Sussex yesterday, and they said, Nigel, if UKIP now makes it clear it's going to stand up for England, we're going to join the party. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot more like that out there.
What I can tell you is that as of Monday, you'll be able to go to the UKIP website, where on the right-hand side there'll be a button for you to press, and you'll be able to leave your thoughts and comments, so that the creators of the policy will be able to take all of those into consideration. What I do ask is if you don't all go there at 9 o'clock and crash the site. Thank you very much.
I would only say it's quite interesting. There appears to be a difference between the NEC candidates. I went around to the hustings this morning, and one of them was in favour, several were against, and the rest sat on the fence, which is rather what I'm doing. Whereas yesterday, when Nigel mentioned this in his speech, I noted a huge cheer among the audience here at the idea. So it'll be very interesting to see what comments we do get.